What's up, everybody? This is the Derek J. Fiedler YouTube channel, and I'm Derek, and these are my goals for 2023. So I'm excited about what is ahead this year. I made some big and brave changes at the end of 2022 that I mentioned in a previous letter called shifting my focus from commenting on art to making it. In 2023, the first big project will be writing my mystical memoir. More on that shortly. I will be documenting the journey on my YouTube channel right here, and more in depth on my website and my Substack. Subscribe to the YouTube channel as well as to the Substack newsletter to hitch your wagon to this wild adventure. It's going to be quite the ride. Just a note that this document right here that I'm screenshotting, this is a dynamic document, and so I'll be updating it throughout the year. First part is my goal is to learn to build a story, just like you construct a house. In 2016, my new wife and I set out to build a tiny house. Soon into the work, I took a step back and realized that I needed to learn the principles of construction: foundation, framing, layout, waterproofing, staging. This year, my goal is to learn how to build a story like I did to build that house. I have many more stories to tell, so it's time to get it right from the get-go. My aim is to build an enchanting place people can enter without being disturbed by water leaks or plot gaps. I will be reading a few This Is How to Write books, but mainly reading as many stories as possible and taking good notes. You can see my reading list and notes sections down below. Write a memoir. Finishing writing my mystical memoir by September 22nd, 2023. Why that date, you might ask? It marks the 10-year anniversary of the day I came home after years of traveling afar. My goal is to share my most profound spiritual experiences and tell the tale of my wild journey in hopes to help people better navigate theirs. Next goal is to shift the focus to original art. I've shifted the major focus to creating original art and aligned the other activities I've been involved with in recent years to support this main thing, or the main thing that I'm working on. It's one big project. I don't want to belabor explaining this goal because you can read more about it in another letter called A Shift in Focus, and there's a link there. My goal is to bring the mind down to the heart. Take a break from being intellectually driven and be more heart-centered. I've downloaded enough knowledge to fuel my creative endeavors and spiritual practice for at least a year or two. Rather than listen to 3-hour podcasts about prayer, I'm going to pray. Instead of talking about symbolism, I'm going to more so apply it to my life and my art. As I learned in the book Into the Silent Land, this one right here, by Martin, I want to say Laird, Laird. Into the Silent Land, it's time to bring the mind down into the heart. My goal is to clear the deck. I've shifted my focus from commenting to making art, like I just mentioned, so I want to transition well. My goal is to complete what I committed to. Word is bond. I will be clearing the deck as best I can of outstanding articles, podcasts, and projects that I committed to doing. At the least, I will communicate if I cancel or postpone. For example, I'm setting the Arrival series, my essay series on the philosophy and symbolism of arrival. I'm setting those essays to the side. It pains me to do so. I've spent so much time on them. I did publish the one essay on Exodus and arrival, unpacking this hidden structure from the film and the story. But I still have 2, 3, 4, 5 other essays that are very much in the works and outlined, but I very much want to share them with you all. But I simply don't have time to do 2 major projects right now. I apologize for that. This is not a never. This is just not now. And that's not to say I might, if I do have some margin of time, in addition to what I'm committing to, then I'm considering maybe writing an essay or two, but don't hold me to that. If you really want to hear more about my insights from the Arrival film, let me know. That'd be maybe the helpful encouragement I need to make the push and get it done. My goal is to share my reading list. Well, first of all, is to make a reading list and then be able to share it with you and kind of be able to share my notes along with that. So my goal is to read lots of great stories of people's lives so I can write a good book about mine. It will come at little surprise that the books overlap with my main writing project, the mystical memoir. Thank you to those who thoughtfully shared their book and film suggestions in a Thursday thread. I'm finalizing, and there's a link to that, of course. I'm finalizing the reading list and will be sharing it with you all shortly. But not to leave you completely in waiting, here are the next books at the top of the queue. One is the Gurus, the Young Man and Elder Paisios. This one I've already finished. It is simply written, but man, is it a page turner. The other one is The Son of the Deathless. You can watch my unboxing reaction video that I recorded with my daughter, posted here on the YouTube channel. By Nicholas Kotar. I finished that one. It's wondrous, and I drew lots. I might just make a video about that one, so maybe stay tuned to that. The other one that I'm also reading is The Way of the Pilgrim, and the Pilgrim Continues His Way. So far, these are excellent books. Again, I'm inspired by the way that they combine the spiritual journey with the spatial one. And the next one is Father Joe by Tony Hendra, with a footnote that says that this book was a gift from a good friend. Thank you very much, Andrew Tran, a former guest of the podcast. Go check that out. If you too are feeling generous and would like to gift me a book like Andrew did, you can pick one out from my wish list on Amazon and my wish list on Thrift Books. Again, these links are, of course, in the description as well as on this letter on my website. And the last one that I'm listing on this short list is On Writing by Stephen King, which is kind of like his lessons from his how to write, and then as combined with his memoirs as well. So I'm looking forward to reading that one. My goal is to publish notes this year. So I take a lot of notes. This year, it's my goal to share the good ones with you. Books from the reading list, podcasts I host, podcasts I listen to, films, and so on. And I'll be doing that on my website, and I'll try to do that as well here on YouTube. Because the reading list, the notes, the research, all of these things are leading up to my next goal, which is the book club. So reading books and taking notes are one thing, talking about books is another. Insightful comments from you are some of the most valuable gems. They really are. It keeps me publishing content online. It makes every minute of hard work it takes to get letters and videos and art and stories out there into the world worth it. So my goal is to make this grow by creating a book club, and really just to foster the community engagement and to kind of tie in all of these various things that go into making the things that I do. The book club will consist of a collection of spaces for people to engage with the books and films. From my research, you can share your thoughts in the comment sections of my book notes, YouTube videos, podcasts, threads, so on. I also am getting ahead of myself, but I'm also making a space for paid membership for the patrons and the community members that want to engage with this more deeply. I'll be not so secretly recruiting conversation partners to join me in book club podcasts. So leave thoughtful comments, suggest books. If it overlaps with a reading list, I might be reaching out to the author of that book, but in some cases, like this one, this was written a long time ago, hundreds of years ago. And so I'll be reaching out to people that have some well thought out insights from it, just to have a conversation and bounce some ideas off of. Also be looking out to people like James Cortides. He and I just recorded a conversation so look forward to that if it's not already out by the time I publish this. But then also some other thoughtful people as well. So stay tuned to that. And that leads into my other goal of podcasting. What are my podcasting goals? So it's been a big part of what I've been doing here on the YouTube channel in the recent years. So my focus will be on the discussions that support my projects, research, and explore my worldview. My goal is to have 1 or 2 conversations each month. I have created a guest list of people I will be reaching out to. I was going to share it like I did my reading list, or will be sharing my reading list, but I decided not to out of respect for the potential guests because it could cause unnecessary pressure that would be disrespectful. Just know that I am lining up some exciting discussions that will focus more on story, unpacking theirs and exploring mine. Topics include transformation, mystical experiences, psychedelics, New Age spirituality, Christian mysteries, pilgrimage, quest for inner peace, traveling, the wilderness, revelation, and more. I will also continue to explore symbolism, phenomenology, logocentric and dendrocentric worldviews. I'll even add cosmic Christianity, albeit these things will be more on a minor degree. Like I said, I'm focusing on the story, trying to produce original things. And so having conversations is a big part of that. It draws a different part of the meaning out than just sitting down and thinking about it and writing it. So I want to bring you guys in a part of that process, part of that journey of what it takes to tell a really good story, and having meaningful dialogos or meaningful conversations is a big part of that. Paid subscription. So up to this point, I have not had paid membership perks or a membership or Patreon communities or anything like that. Everything I've done has just been a service. But recently I've been receiving more requests to have ways that people can support my work, but then also to have things in addition, above and beyond to what I already offer. The majority of it will be for free, of course. But then, as I'll read, there's certain things that people want to do that will become more of an engaging process and an experience for the membership. So the goal is to create a paid membership for patrons, supporters, and people who want a deeper engagement with the art and the creative process. More people have been requesting ways. I just mentioned that you ask and you shall receive. I will be using Substack as the home for interaction with paid membership content. So make sure to go over there and check that out. If it's something that you want to be a part of, you can enter your email to join our merry band of pilgrims, you could say. But then there's also going to be another tier where you can support my work and become a paid subscriber or member. You can get some of the ideas I have so far is access to early drafts, early access to videos of podcasts, so like before they get released, member-only Q&A, member-only threads, which we've already been starting. That's open to the public, but I'll be introducing some that are member-only. And then preview or interview question submissions for guests of conversations I'm going to have. So that way you guys can be part of that interview process. And you never know, some of your questions just might make their way into those conversations. It's going to be quite the expedition. So I'm learning too. The feedback has been most helpful. This is not my expertise. So any feedback or engagement of ways that could, this is for you guys, so let me know what would be meaningful. And if it's within the realm of my capacity, then let's do it. And then a few more goals. I just kind of list the rest of them off here. One is to publish DerekJFiedler.com, which I have already done. You can visit that website, DerekJFiedler.com. That really, it sends you to the About page of my Substack. But as you can see, I'll just open that up. You guys can take a look. But it's well thought out. It gives you an idea, a snapshot of what I'm about, what I'm into, ways to engage with what I'm doing. And I'll be adding to this throughout the year. And this is, again, more of like a dynamic space to keep you as up to date of where we're at with the journey to tell these stories and places to engage. Okay, back over here. Expand podcast to other platforms. So far I've just been doing YouTube, but I understand that that's not, even though it's my favorite place, it's maybe not yours. And so I'll be expanding that, having a podcast section in the website, the Substack, but then also the most popular platforms where you can enjoy them. So like iTunes or Spotify, you let me know, and again, I'll try to make it happen. Facilitate more in real life gathering opportunities, or IRL. I've talked about this or wrote about this in other newsletters, so maybe go check those out for some more detail. But just anything from just doing like inviting you guys on maybe some of the retreats that I go on. I go on a couple of backpacking trips in California and some of the surrounding states, or even simply as just like a camp out, or perhaps like a seminar where invite some other people that are doing active things in the symbolic world or this corner of the internet, and then inviting people to be a part of that in person, face to face, incarnational, but then all the way up to doing like a full convention. I don't know. I heard that Lord of Spirits are going to be doing a convention, and I think in Pennsylvania or the East Coast somewhere. Go check that out for details. Obviously, I don't have them, but I want to engage with that because I shared in one of the other letters I wrote called "Climbing Up the Mountain." I might record an audio version of that as well, because it's one of the more popular ones. But I got to engage with people in real life. Some of the other people that are part of this network, it's really the platform are inspired by Jonathan Peugeot and some of these other things. And it was amazing. It was transformational. And I'm guessing that other people would enjoy that a lot too. So I'm willing to put in that energy of organizing and making it happen. Again, let me know what you'd be up for, what you think would be a fun way to engage in real life. Move older newsletters from ConvertKit to Substack. Basically, I just need to finish making out the archive of all of the written letters that I've been doing over the couple of years. I need to create a Substack or another archive of all of the letters that I wrote during my journals from traveling on my bicycle from 2012 to 2014, really. I need to teach my goal is to teach 5 students to learn how to play piano beautifully and meaningfully. A lot of people might not know this, but I teach music lessons locally in person, and it's a really meaningful thing. I've only done a couple students at a time, but I'm going to carve out more space for that to kind of sow into the next generation. The goal is to go on 2 backpacking trips in the wilderness. And here at home, I'd like to build out our home garden and do 400 square feet of raised beds and build a chicken coop for 6 chickens. Because I don't know, man, these prices of eggs out here in California are ridiculous. And chicken poop makes for some really good composting soil. So kind of build out the ecosystem of our 2-acre farm out here. My final thoughts from my wrap up of my 2023 goals is that I'm sincerely excited for what is to come this year. I know these are hard times, but I look around and I see hope. I see meaningful things that are taking place, and I'm excited and a little scared to have taken some of these jumps that I did, going from, critic to a creative person coming up with original stories. But I think it's really needed these days, because I look around, whether it's the books that are in school, whether it's the stories that are popular, the films that are popular, what people are like, they call it content these days, because gosh, if only they could ascend to the level of actually telling a cohesive, life-giving story. Goodness. I'm feeling that. And so I'll say I've received many a story, many an idea that I need to dedicate more of my time to making those things a reality, getting them out there and getting them published so that way it has a chance of inspiring people to live meaningful lives and to engage with truth in a meaningful way and to be drawn by beautiful, beautiful things. And so at least that's my heart going into this year. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. It would be great to have you join us. Like I mentioned, it's going to be quite the ride. I'm in for it. A lot of this is new territory for me. I've only read a couple of memoirs, so I'm open to as much help from you guys as possible. I'm not an expert, but I feel called to this, and I feel like this is something that I need to do. So any feedback, any help from you guys is wonderful. It's valuable for me. And lastly, let me know, what are some of your 2023 goals? What are you looking forward to this year? What are you seeing? What are some of the patterns that are emerging? And, where do you think we'll be at the end of this year? And where do you want to be at the end of this year? Does any of my goals resonate with you? And do you have any goals that are perhaps similar to mine? Let me know. I'd love to read them, and I do my best to reply to all of the comments right here in YouTube, or more so in the community over in Substack. I will say this: all of the ones that are meaningful or insightful, thoughtful, encouraging. If you take time to leave a good comment, I'll take time to leave a good reply. Okay, that is all for now. I'll catch you in the next one.